Russia has blacklisted a candidate from the UCP. Jackie Armstrong-Homeniuk, the United Conservative Party candidate for Fort Saskatchewan-Vegreville, is one of the most recent Alberta politicians to be blacklisted by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Jackie Armstrong-Homeniuk, the United Conservative Party candidate for Fort Saskatchewan-Vegreville, is one of the most recent Alberta politicians to be blacklisted by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Armstrong-Homeniuk, who has been a proud Ukrainian and vocal opponent of Putin's war in Ukraine, released a statement on April 13 expressing her delight at the news. "I have never been happier to be on a list," she exclaimed. In 2019, Armstrong-Homeniuk won re-election as the member of Legislative Assembly for Fort Saskatchewan-Vegreville. South of St. Paul, you'll find the neighborhoods of Two Hills and Murnham. On October 24, 2022, she became the parliamentary secretary for Ukrainian refugee settlement. Putin is on the verge of defeat. Learning of this ban makes me even more determined to fight him and his evil regime. Armstrong-Homeniuk, who heads the Alberta-Ukraine Relations Advisory Council, claims she has opposed the conflict in Ukraine since before it officially began. Armstrong-Homeniuk concluded, "I send my prayers to all those fighting for their freedom and sovereignty in Ukraine, and I welcome all Ukrainians who have made Alberta their new home." Armstrong-Homeniuk is one of 333 Canadians, including officials, politicians, athletes, and public activists, who have been hit with recent personal sanctions by Russia. This is Russia's response to what it sees as hostile moves by the Canadian government. The latest sanctions included more than 70 members of the Alberta legislature. David Hanson, the NDP representative for Bonnyville-Cold Lake Street, Paul, was one of 6 MLAs banned in December of last year. When asked why he was chosen, Hanson said, "I wish I knew the reason I was selected so that I could do it again and share my method with my colleagues so that they too can share in the honor," as reported in Lakeland This Week on December 13, 2022. UCP MLAs Nate Glubish and Tyler Chandro are among the other Albertans sanctioned by Russia in December. Sarah Hoffman, Darren Belos, and Lorne Dack of the NDP were also mentioned. Information from a federal government news release on December 9 indicates that Canada imposed its own measures against a total of 67 individuals and 9 entities complicit in human rights violations around the world in December. Canada's foreign policy rests on the principles of dignity, freedom, and justice. As the world watches countries like Russia, Iran, and Myanmar trample on the rights of their citizens, we are reminded of the importance of speaking out and fighting for what we believe in. It's true that there's more to do, but Canada's Foreign Minister Mélanie Joly has promised that her country will always advocate for human rights. As a result, on the basis of reciprocity, according to a statement released by the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs on December 9, 2022, 200 Canadians were denied entry to Russia.